Have you ever wondered where the materials around you come from? How the chemical elements were discovered and where they're found? How they're mined and refined into finished products? And how we rely on chemicals for all that we do and how they affect our lives and our environment? Students at the Mountain Land Applied Technology College in Orem, Utah are answering these questions in The Elements Unearthed, our discovery and usage of the chemical elements.
Hello, my name is David Black, and I have been a physical sciences, history, and media design technology teacher for the past 20 years. I am here to propose a project that will tell the story of the history, sources, uses, mining, refining, and hazards of the chemical elements and industrial materials. This project will create a series of video podcasts that are planned, videotaped, and edited by community teams that can include students, historians, and scientists and engineers from local industries. The name of this project is The Elements Unearthed, our discovery and usage of the chemical elements. Why do we need this project? There are 4 reasons why this project is needed. The first is for our own self-protection. The second is to protect our heritage and history. The third is to protect our future. The fourth is to protect our country's standing as the leader in science and engineering innovation. Let's look at these 4 needs in detail. Our own self-protection. Our lives are impacted by chemicals, materials, and the elements every day. Yet too many people are ignorant of this. Let me give 3 personal examples. In the summer of 1978, residents of the small town of Deseret in western Utah were alarmed to find out that high levels of arsenic had been discovered in their drinking water and had apparently been there for some time. Each home got its water from wells dug into an aquifer 186 feet below ground that was contaminated by arsenate salts. Extensive tests were given to the townspeople, which were quite uncomfortable. A longitudinal study of mortality rates in the area, published in 1998, showed correlations between arsenic exposure levels and hypertensive heart disease, kidney disease, and especially prostate cancer. My own grandfather, who lived in the town all his life, died of prostate cancer, possibly as a result of arsenic contamination. In 1 week in December 1996, 3 separate incidents occurred in Utah that involved toxic chemical spills. The first was a railroad car carrying diesel fuel that spilled its load and caught on fire. The second was an 18-wheeler traveling north on Interstate 15 that blew over in a gust of wind just north of the town of Nephi. It was carrying sodium azide for use in car airbags, and when rainwater mixed with the spilled azide, it explosively decomposed and burst into flames so hot that they burnt a hole down through the roadbed and sent a plume of toxic smoke toward the town of Mona, which contained hydroazoic acid. Residents were evacuated, and traffic on I-15 was diverted 30 miles out of its way onto an alternate route. The next morning, another 18-wheeler spun out on slick surfaces on that alternate route and overturned, spilling its load of sulfur dioxide pellets. Traffic was again diverted onto yet another alternate route, over 50 miles out of its way. I was living in Nephi at that time, and had to travel these alternate routes to get to work. In Utah, they called this Hazmat Hell Week. Growing up in western Utah in the early 1960s, I was exposed to fallout blown downwind from the nuclear weapons testing in Nevada. Our family cow ate alfalfa that was contaminated by radioactive iodine-133 from these tests, which was concentrated in the cow's milk. I have been told that I should have my thyroid gland checked regularly in case I develop thyroid cancer as a result of living downwind from the Nevada test site. These are just 3 of many examples of how chemicals and materials have influenced my own life. Millions of tons of chemicals move across our highways and over our rail system each year. People store potentially dangerous chemicals in their own homes without much understanding of what they are used for or how to handle them safely. We need to understand how chemicals work and where they come from if we are to keep ourselves safe. The Elements Unearthed proposes to provide the information that people need on the hazards and uses of chemicals and materials. Need number 2, to save history. Human history is tied directly into how well we have understood and used the material world. Epochs of our history are named after advances in materials science, including the Stone Age, the Copper Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. The Elements Unearthed project intends to dig up the story of how our history and the discovery of the elements have been dependent on each other. Much of the history of the United States has been influenced directly or indirectly by materials and chemicals, by mines and miners, with such events as the California Gold Rush, the Comstock Lode in Nevada, the Pikes Peak Rush in Colorado, and the Klondike Rush in Alaska, all adding to our national character. Yet much of this history is being lost, as mines close and the miners that worked in them die away. Virtually gone are the days of panning for gold or hard rock mining with pick and shovel. Old mine sites are being closed and covered for safety and environmental reasons, and this part of our history is in danger of being lost forever. Our project is needed to preserve this history and tell these stories. Need number 3, to protect the future. As we face tough choices now and in the near future regarding how we use our resources, generate our energy, transport, feed, and clothe our population, and improve our environment, we must have an informed public that can support and vote for the policies that will protect our increasingly fragile world. Resource depletion, environmental degradation, energy consumption, and global warming are daily headline news, and national leadership and public awareness must begin to focus on these issues. Decisions must be made now. We cannot continue to kick the can down to future generations. The solution to this problem of an informed populace lies in education, both formal and informal, and that is the main purpose of our project. Need number 4, to protect the U.S. economy. The United States economy has been the envy of the world for decades. Although it is still strong, many experts see signs that we may not be as innovative in the near future as we have been in the past, especially as the world economy becomes more globalized and competitive. One of the largest danger signs is a decline in students prepared to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, the so-called STEM careers. In 2006, 15-year-old students in 57 countries were tested on their science literacy by the Program for International Student Assessment. The average score was set to be 500 out of a total possible score of 1,000. In science literacy, students in East Asia, Canada, the South Pacific, Scandinavia, and Western Europe all scored significantly higher than students in the United States, who scored 489 or below average. Overall ranking of United States students was 29th out of 57. These scores indicate that we are not doing well at preparing the next generation of scientists, engineers, and mathematicians. Thank you for your interest in the Elements Unearthed project. To find out more information, visit our website at elementsunearthed.com